Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. So I'm gonna do a quick video. The video's not, lighting's not the best in here, but you're gonna be watching the screen most of the time anyway. So today I'm gonna do a video showing how effective and essentially the way I scalp. So I've showed this before, but I've made some slight changes. So I'm going to show you pretty much two different charts you can scalp on. One is the 3-minute chart. That's the chart our alerts go out on. And another is the 1-minute chart. Okay, so that's a little bit quicker, faster. And it'll show you exactly what you're looking for. Now, before we get started, just go ahead and hit that, if you don't mind, hitting that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any more of this content that I'm putting out. And I appreciate you doing that. So let's get into it. So first, I'm going to go off the 3-minute chart, and really before any of this starts, you should all have a trading plan, okay? And if you're trying to come up with a system first, and you're trying to find out, okay, trying to find something that works, I understand that, and that's fine, but you should still have some type of rough idea of what you're going to try and what you're going to plan, okay? So if you're trying to day trade or scalp, you may want to look at something like the 1 or the 3 or the 5-minute chart. What assets are you going to trade? For me, mostly I concentrate on SPY and the ES. I don't need to trade anything else. I can get the gains I want just scalping or trading those. So, whatever your plan is, you need to come up with it and put it on paper. I'll go into more on that deeper in another video, but today we're going to explain how it all comes down to percentages, okay? And if you watched my video on the, the interview that I posted with Richie Nasso, the guy who's been on Wall Street for 50 years, trader. He's been through it all, seen it all, and he echoes a lot of the same things that I say. One of these things is it's all about percentages, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, when you look at a play, certain plays have a certain chance of success. Okay, so if you flip a coin, you have a 50%. Essentially about a 50-50 chance, if it's heads or if it's tails. Okay, that's not a very good percentage. Okay, so what you can look for is the higher percentage plays. Okay, and what I mean by that, so if you use just the infinity indicator, let's say that's about an 80% win rate if you use just the infinity indicator. Okay, now if you use the infinity indicator and pair it with something like the MLMI here, your probability is going to go up. So those trades that take that into consideration, you will have a better chance of those trades working out. So how would you do that? Well, I can't tell you how to how much to buy or this or that, but to me, if I'm putting money in, I'm going to go much heavier on the plays that have a higher chance of a higher percentage of success. So what do I mean by that? I'll show you here. Okay. So here we have, we'll just go off what we're looking at here, right? The infinity indicator looks damn good by itself, and it is. Okay. But if you pair that with something like support and resistance, then and the MLMI, so that's three things that I'm really looking at. You get something that almost always works out. Okay, so if we have something like an 80% win rate on the infinity indicator plays here, right? If you count only the plays that are an infinity indicator buy signal, and where they're at extremes and you cross here, that percentage will go up. Okay. And obviously to the sell side as well, right? So look, this is what I'm talking about here. We're at extremes here, right? We cross, okay? And then we get a sell signal on the infinity indicator. And then look, we drop, okay? And we're also at resistance, okay? This is the third piece of the puzzle. And there are multiple ways to find support and resistance. One is obviously you can see here, we have a lot of resistance here at the 591 area. There's a lot of action over here. That's a point of resistance. And again, I call that out in our premium community just this morning. Look for support around 586 and pullbacks in the 591 area, okay, for resistance. So we were looking support at 586, and I call this out pre-market. This isn't something I called out like at the end of the day, when it doesn't mean it, when it doesn't mean anything. But so 586 is what we're looking at. 591 on the resistance. So what I did, I just made it easy for you guys. I put it here. So this is those levels that I'm talking about for support and resistance that I called out. And you can see when you add that into the mix, it makes, it makes the plays much more, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes the plays better. I'll just stick with that. So again, when you get a buy signal here, that's one check mark. We're at support 586, right? That's two check marks. And then we're at extremes here and we cross. That's our third check mark, and up we go. And look where we pull back. We pull back right where? Right in that 591 area, okay? Now, we did get to extremes here on the MLMI and we crossed. So would we enter that play? No. Why? We don't have a sell signal on the infinity indicator, okay? And that would be one that I would look at as a, pretty much, the first layer of all this is there a buy or sell signal on the infinity indicator? And, that's kind of the first step with all that. Let me see if I can get a little bit of light in here for you guys. Is that a little bit better? You can see my face. So that's the 1 minute chart, that's the 3 minute chart. The 1 minute chart, essentially the same. Okay, support is in the same spot. The plays are in the same spot. The only thing I would say is on the 1 minute chart, because there are so many plays, you don't necessarily need the repeat signals on. Okay, so what you can do is you can turn those repeat signals off. And then, so this is what you see when you turn this off, okay? And same thing here, okay? So what are we looking for? Obviously, yes, we're looking for sell signals on the infinity indicator, but we're also looking for these plays to be what? At an area of support and or at extremes, okay? So here's an area where we shade red and we cross. What else is going on? We're at support, check mark 2, and we get a buy signal on the infinity indicator. Boom, there it is, check mark 3, okay? And then here, we weren't quite at resistance, but you had what? You had your infinity indicator sell, which is already an 80% or so win rate, and then you have the MLMI crossing. You absolutely want to get into a play like that, okay? So the infinity indicator, you must have. You must have the infinity indicator, and then you must have a secondary indicator, and it's nice to have all three. What do I mean by have a secondary indicator? That's exactly what I'm talking about here. A secondary indicator means you're at support, okay? Or you have an MLMI here and you're at your extremes and you cross, okay? In this situation, again, you have all three, okay? Do you need all three? No. But what are you going to do? You're probably going to go a little bit heavier when it's all three. You may buy 2 contracts instead of 1 or 5 contracts instead of your normal 3, whatever it may be. But I think you understand where I'm getting with that. Let's look at another one. Okay, so here we weren't quite at an area of resistance, so that's not a check mark, but we have our sell signal on the infinity indicator and our MLMI cross. So there you have 2, and look, that play works out, okay? Same thing to this side. We're not quite at support, but what? We have our 1 check mark here on the buy signal, right? And then we also have the MLMI crossing. We're at extremes. Up we go. Same thing with this. And then this was just kind of a lucky one again. This is an 80% win rate with you, regardless. We're not really near support. We're not really at extremes here. So you only had one thing. It happened to work out, but again, it's a higher probability when these things have all three of these, or at least two out of the three. Okay. And I'm just gonna it essentially it goes back, no matter how far back you want to go here. I think I made a pretty good point here yesterday. Okay, yesterday really just, you could have followed the infinity indicator pretty much just by itself. But again, that's never really a good idea. You really want to have, at least two out of the three requirements. And again, this is my strategy for scalping. Okay. You may take some of this and kind of build it into yours. You can take mine and kind of copy and paste it, and then maybe tweak it to what works best for you. But I think I did a good job explaining how these three work together. But if you guys have any questions in the comments, ask. And if you want a free trial of this indicator, please make sure you comment below, and I'll make sure that you get a free trial, free 2-week trial. You'll make money. As you can see, you're going to make money with the indicator. You won't pay me a penny until you make money. I can assure you that. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.